Oh, you see, in this life, you really need to be careful the kind of people you associate yourself with. You guys recall the event that got Bobrisky arrested. The producer, Bisol Eniola, the producer that hosted that event that got Bobrisky arrested by the Efcc for spraying money. Guess what? The same producer is hanging out with Portable now. The same producer is hanging out with Portable to make fun of the same person that attended our event and got him or herself arrested.
No, nǹkan tó ń lọ ni báwo lẹ ṣe máa gbá wọ́ọ̀dù obìnrin fọ́bìnrin àbọ́kùnrin àbí ọ̀ṣì ọ̀ṣì because mo gba shim ọlọ́run ní ṣèmù wa understand anything wey you dey do fear God first bọ́lọ́run bá ṣe dá ẹ kó dúró ń bẹ̀ I believe in God my phone and soul any disappointment is a blessing bọ́lọ́run ṣe dá mi ni mo dúró dán ẹ wo gẹ̀mí Jésù kò ya tàtú ṣàṣù mo ya tàtú ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ gẹ̀gẹ̀ ṣé ẹ rí pé rọ́ọ̀ ni I'm bloated I have money then you ẹ ṣe fake gidi àbí ẹ ṣe fake gidi bá tiẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ obìnrin you are a woman you can do raw yansh ní ọ̀tọ̀ ẹ lọ ẹ fẹ́ fún èèyàn láwọ̀ọ́dù hero ló yẹ kẹ́ ẹ fún láwọ̀ọ́dù ẹ lọ fún ọ̀rọ̀ láwọ̀ọ́dù why did you give ọ̀rọ̀ award no Ẹniọlá Àjàwó tó ń gbé lájàwó estate àbí no ọ̀hún fọwọ́ bo ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá kí n gbàgbà kó gbà lọ́nà àwòrí ọmọ ìyá mi no àjẹ́ni ìyá mi wọ́n rán.
The crazy thing is that Portable had issues with Bobrisky after Bobrisky was awarded the best dress. This woman was the person that planned the whole thing. She planned to give Bobrisky an award so that it can shift controversies to her movies. So that she can shift controversies to herself, and by shifting controversies to herself, people will watch her movie. And she kind of like succeeded. She gave Bobrisky the best dress. They awarded the best dress to Bobrisky, and a lot of Nigerians were very happy about that. How could you award best dress to Bobrisky, who is a man transformed to be a woman? And some of all those persons one of them is Portable, who really came hard on Bobrisky as at that time. Okay, now you have succeeded. During that event, Bobrisky also sprayed money. Then, boom, Efcc arrested Bobrisky. Efcc arrested Bobrisky, and Bobrisky is currently with the Efcc and will be going to court, I think, on Tuesday to determine his fate. And now this woman, the same person, but the same Portable that was battling Bobrisky, they insult Bobrisky up and down, you welcome that person to your house. You welcome that person to show his support. Meanwhile, the person that you used is in jail. Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. This woman, you don't get one single shame at all. If Bobrisky come outside now, he will say, Ejo, it's not like that, oh. It's not as you think, oh. You know how this Yoruba to the bed now. Ejo. It's not as if I don't support Portable, but let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade, guys. Even if you support Portable, no me say if they do the wrong thing, you know, we'll see her now. I support Portable for what he did to Bobrisky. I do not support them giving Bobrisky the bed dress, but this woman planned everything. planned everything around. And Bobrisky is currently in the Efcc custody, and this woman is moving freely, even sharing bread with Bobrisky enemies. So Bobrisky will come outside now. Well, I know Bob's though. I don't know her, but with the videos I've been watching about her, I know she's not going to just sit. I know she'll blast that woman well. And I pray the woman makes her money, because the other time she was begging, kneeling and everything. Well, big up to them, and you know, in this line of work, they have to do whatever they can do to make money, to sell their movie. You know, it's quite unfortunate, but that's the kind of ideology they have. No passion. It's just controversies upon controversy in order to feed. And meanwhile, guys, I wonder how Yoruba and Igbo people go stay sustain themselves when it comes to spray money. Because if you know, many Nigerians, most especially the Yoruba and the Igbos, they don't feel big. They don't feel respected in any occasion if they do not spray money. They don't feel complete if they do not spray money in occasion they have been invited to. Honestly, so I wonder how they are going to sustain. I wonder how they are going to sustain themselves now that they have arrested some few persons and made Bobrisky a scapegoat. You know, everybody will be extremely careful now. Whenever they want to spray money, they will think twice. They will have to devise another means to spray money. And people who will be invited, the big boys, you know, giving money and spray money is two different things. If someone sprays money, there is a zeal for that person to continuously spray money. That means if person like ordinarily want to give out 50,000, if that person to spray that 50,000, that person will end up spraying close to 100,000. So there's a zeal in it. People prefer to invite guests that will spray money instead of guests that will just give them earned money, like put in the envelope. Well, I wonder how you now go take all those odogu. I wonder how they go to sustain themselves, because they cannot stay without spraying money. So let's move past that, guys, and tell me exactly how you feel about that Bobrisky Portable matter. Then let's go to this issue. The former governor, the late governor of Ondo State, the former governor of Ondo State, you know, he was sick and he died. His widowed wife, his widow. Guess what? His widow had to marry the late governor's brother. Remarry the late governor's brother. We have such traditions, but I never knew such traditions are still in practice. We have such tradition in our own land as well, where I come from. My grandmom had to marry her late husband's brother. My grandmom had to marry her late husband's brother in order for her to have a place to stay in the family, to have a place in the family. So this woman now marry the late governor's younger brother. I do not like this kind of practice, so me, I just let you know now. I do not encourage it and I do not like it. Although it has worked well for so many persons, and although it hasn't worked well with so many persons, we have seen some greed in it. Because of greed of man, I will never support that kind of tradition. Because some brothers might be jealous of their brother's wife. They might hang their brother's life in order for them to take over their brother's wife. Yes, people can do that. And again, if as a wife, you have kids for a man, and those kids are not grown yet, and your husband happen to die, God forbid, This man will inherit all the property until to train your own kids. And and you will now be maybe the third wife to that man. And he will inherit his brother's property. God forbid such tradition. All those traditions to be eradicated in our system. I will never support it. God forbid. Why will I want to inherit my brother's wife? Why? Why will I want to inherit my brother's property? Why? God forbid. God forbid. But somehow, thank God for justice system. Thank God for will and so many other stuff. But there are some tradition, deep. That's why you need to be extremely careful. Before you get married, please check well. Read well about people's tradition. Nowadays, we do not even read. We do not even cross-check because we just only want to get married. People do not know about people's tradition. Like, when I wanted to, let me tell you a story. When I wanted to marry a girl a few years ago, then, the first thing my dad said was, do you know this girl's tradition? Do you understand their tradition? She's an Igbo. Then he decided to do a research for me, and we discovered that peradventure, if your wife died and you want to bury her, you won't be able to bury her. There are some traditional ritual you have to do. There are some crazy stuff you have to perform in order to bury your wife. And some other things again. I had to back off. Let me tell you this. You might feel like you live in the city. You just marry a girl. With this city, live all your life in the city and everything. Yeah. There are some tradition, that girls or that man, parents, forefathers have signed with their gods. And all their lineage, everybody from that village must abide to it. If not, things will never move for you again. After marrying that girl, because you feel you are in the city, you feel you are born again, you feel you are a converted Christian, you good Christian, good Muslim, you start facing challenges. Challenges upon challenges. You don't know is that guy's tradition, that woman's tradition that you refuse to uphold. The part your forefathers have made with them that you refuse to uphold is what is affecting you. Please do your research. No just go carry marry. No carry marry. Do your research to do the proper thing. If you cannot do it, back off. Back off. Please be wise. Don't be carried away with love. We know they love you, but don't be carried away with love. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Adam's Link. Catch you next time.